So this is standard practice in the dairy industry for the dairy farmers to remove the newborn calves from their mothers. And they do this right after those dairy cows give birth. They take their babies right off of those mothers. And one of the main reasons why they do this is so that that baby and that mother don't form a bond. So yeah, it's really sick that people continue to consume dairy and that they defend this atrocious behavior. These dairy cows are forcibly impregnated. People think it's natural for humans to consume animal products. Well, there's nothing natural happening in the animal agriculture industry. There's nothing happening in the dairy industry. There's nothing happening in the beef industry. There is nothing happening in the nothing natural happening in the poultry industry. Nothing happening natural in the pork industry. Artificial insemination is standard practice throughout the animal agriculture industry. That artificial insemination process involves those farmers collecting semen from select male animals. And how they collect that semen is very unnatural, very disgusting, and it should be a crime. And the reason why bestiality isn't a crime in most states is because that's like the standard practice in animal agriculture. It's a human literally sexually stimulates a male animal, forces that male animal to ejaculate, to collect their semen, to force that semen into a female animal, to force her to reproduce, to produce those animal products that all of you non-vegans are buying up. Yeah, nothing natural is happening in the animal agriculture industry. So what you people need to do is stop saying that it is natural for humans to be consuming animal products when there's nothing natural happening in the animal agriculture industry. Literally, these animals are being sexually violated. Male animals masturbated by a human. In most cases, those humans happen to be men masturbating male animals or shoving electro ejaculators in their anuses. And it's standard practice throughout the entire animal agriculture industry. But see, in the dairy industry, they have to get those dairy cows pregnant. Okay, so that they will start producing milk. Because dairy cow naturally only produces milk to feed her baby. That is the only reason why a dairy cow produces milk. So yeah, you need to learn a thing or two. Dairy cows do not produce milk because they're dairy cows. It's so pathetic, so disgustingly pathetic that we live in a society, a first world country, and adults, well-educated adults, children being put through private schools, they don't even comprehend the real reason a dairy cow produces milk. Don't even know the basic things involved in producing those products that they literally consume all day, every day. People well-educated don't even understand how those products they're consuming are being produced. They don't have a clue as to why they need to go vegan. And they make so many ridiculous excuses like, it's natural. It's natural for humans to eat meat. Again, there is nothing natural happening in this industry. And you need to educate yourself. Because if you're not vegan, you are literally funding acts that would be acts of rape, kidnapping, theft, and murder if committed against our own species. And it's disgusting to say that it's okay. It's okay to masturbate a bull. It's okay to masturbate a pig. It's okay to masturbate. I literally had people, when I literally posted videos of the semen collection process of animals, defending this behavior. It's beyond disgusting. It's beyond disgusting. When you are not vegan, you're literally funding bestiality. True story. First step in producing animal products is they masturbate male animals to collect their semen, to shove that semen into the vaginas of non-consenting female animals. If you were to force semen into a woman's vagina without her consent, I seriously doubt you would call that artificial insemination. That would be a crime of rape, and it should be a crime of rape just the same when it's committed against non-human animals. This industry is disgusting. It's destroying the planet. Animal agriculture is literally the leading cause of deforestation, species extinction, water pollution, water depletion, ocean dead zones, ocean plastics, fisheries depletion, pandemics, world hunger, and climate change. And I'm not even exaggerating. Even researchers at Oxford University, after doing an extensive study of over 40,000 farms, concluded that animal agriculture is so environmentally destructive, going vegan is the best way to save the planet, and that if the world went vegan, land totaling the size of Africa, the whole continent of Africa could be freed up, because that is how much land is needed to graze and grow food for all of these ceaseless tens of billions of animals that are needed to keep up with the demand for animal flesh and animal secretions. And the more meat, dairy, and egg products you consume, literally, the more risk you have of heart disease, cancer, diabetes, kidney disease, cerebrovascular disease, the most deadly and most common diseases known to man. We are in the middle of a pandemic right now, a pandemic that would not have happened if the world had been vegan. And even if you say this pandemic was started in a lab, what about bird flu that comes from the poultry industry? What about swine flu that comes from the disgusting, filthy pork industry? It's time to wise up, wake up, and go vegan. And back to the dairy industry. Okay, step one. Okay, so listen up. You need to be educated, because this is so pathetic that people who have literally been put through school, even college, even people with bachelor's degrees, don't even know the standard practices of the animal agriculture industry. Don't even comprehend that a dairy cow produces milk because she is a mother, not because she is a dairy cow. You need to wake up. You need to learn something. Okay? Dairy cows produce milk for one reason and one reason only, because they're mothers. That milk that comes out of their udders is food for their babies, but their babies are stolen so that humans, non-vegans, can consume their stolen baby food. Okay, so first step in producing dairy. They have select bulls that they masturbate, or they will shove an electro-ejaculator in their anuses to force them to ejaculate. That is bestiality. That is sexual assault. That should be a crime. So they sexually violate a bull to collect his semen so they can shove it into the vaginas of unconsenting dairy cows to forcibly impregnate them, because those dairy cows have to be pregnant, otherwise they will never produce milk. They do not automatically produce milk. They produce milk because they're mothers. They are forcibly impregnated to make them mothers. And then this disgusting, filthy industry literally says that the reason why they take those dairy cows' calves off of them is because those dairy cows are horrible mothers. Well, if those dairy cows are such horrible mothers, why are you making them mothers? Why are you forcibly impregnating them, making them become mothers if they are such horrible mothers, and then doing it again and again and again and again and again? This lie is coming to an end. This industry is coming to an end. And this right here, this came straight from a dairy farmer. Yeah, just look at the last video that I posted. Very damning proof how vile and disgusting the dairy industry is. Dairy farmer, this guy here. This is from his own farm, his own words. He goes into his barn where his pregnant dairy cows are. And one of his dairy cows had just given birth to this little baby. And he states from his own mouth that the wind chill that night was going to be minus 20 degrees. Minus 20 degrees. Yeah, temperatures below 0 degrees are life-threatening for newborn baby cows. Newborn calves. This type of weather, life-threatening. He takes this little baby who's in a barn with his mother, puts him outside knowing that the temperature is going to 20 below 0. And out of his own stinking mouth, he says that this is a bull calf, that he's only keeping this calf for 10 days. Only keeping this baby for 10 days. And you mean to tell me he can't keep this baby in the barn with his mother for those 10 days? He's putting this little calf outside when the temperature is minus 20 degrees. Why do these disgusting people do this to these animals? Why? Why is this happening? Because they take those babies immediately off of their mothers to keep them from bonding, so that you non-vegans can consume their stolen baby food. This is an atrocity like no other. And it's bad enough, people ignore atrocities, it's one thing to ignore an atrocity, okay, when you have nothing to do with it. You have no part, and there's not even anything you can do to help stop it, Nothing you can do to help stop the war in Ukraine. Nothing you can do. You can feel bad about it all you want. You can't do nothing about it. This is something you can do something about, but you don't want to. You're just going to turn a blind eye to it. Even though you being non-vegan, you consuming the products that come from this disgusting industry is why this atrocity goes on. This is an atrocity that you cause by your own choices to choose to consume dairy products, to choose to consume meat, dairy, eggs, wool, leather, any non-vegan product. You're having animals abused. You're having babies taken from their mothers. And all of these animals end up dead. Even the dairy cows themselves end up in a slaughterhouse at a fraction of their natural lifespan with their heads chopped off. And then these dairy farmers, how do they repay these dairy cows for making them money for years? They literally send them to a slaughterhouse and make TikTok videos laughing about the fact that they send their dairy cows to a slaughterhouse. And this person concerned about bees. Well, guess what? You know why the bees are dying? Because of non-vegans. Most of the GMO corn and GMO soy produced is fed to livestock, in case you don't know. Those crops are genetically modified so that they can be sprayed with Roundup. Roundup is toxic to bees. And Roundup literally kills all the weeds that literally produce flowers that are food for the bees and the butterflies. So that genetically modified corn, that genetically modified soy, which is mostly fed to livestock. I don't consume GMOs. I stay the fuck away from GMOs. But you, as a consumer of meat, dairy, and eggs, those animals whose flesh and secretions you are consuming, they are fed genetically modified corn and or genetically modified soy. So you're concerned about the bees, but yet you're eating meat, dairy, and eggs, which come from animals that are fed genetically modified corn and genetically modified soy. And again, those crops are genetically modified so that they can be sprayed with Roundup, so that every other living plant around those crops are killed off, except the corn, except the soy. So all of those little, what they call weeds, milkweed, for instance, being wiped the fuck out. And that's what is killing off the bees and the butterflies. I don't consume GMOs. And I tore up my lawn, my front yard, my backyard, tore it the fuck up. And I planted native plants. I planted butterfly host plants. I planted nectar plants for the butterflies and bees. I planted edible plants for myself. What the fuck are you doing, huh? Besides being jealous of vegans, harassing vegans when they go live, calling vegans liars for just stating the truth. What are you doing to help save this planet? What are you doing to help save these animals? You're destroying the planet. You're paying people to torture and kill animals, and you're acting like vegans are the villains. No, the reason why I sit here ready to like my mind is about to explode, because I can't believe that I live in a world filled with people that are literally turning a blind eye to the worst atrocity in history. And again, it's one thing to turn a blind eye to an atrocity when it's nothing that you're even a part of. One thing to ignore, like, oh, there's a war going on in Ukraine. Don't even think about it. Well, you don't have nothing to do with it. And you can't do anything about it. Even if you wanted to do anything about it, you can't do anything about it. But this, you can do something about. You can help stop this atrocity. But what are most of you doing? Turning a blind eye, calling vegans crazy, telling us we're lying, and continuing to fund this atrocity of literally paying people to do such heinous things to animals all day, every day, for every single non-vegan product you consume. Things so heinous, they would be crimes of rape, kidnapping, theft, and murder if those same exact things were being done to humans. This is not right. And the fact this disgusting industry is destroying our planet, causing the 6th mass extinction, destroying the forests, the rivers, the oceans, even 1 billion people right now starving because food they could eat is being used to fatten up livestock so privileged people can eat meat and dairy products. And again, this is a screenshot taken of the last video that I posted. You should watch it and share it, duet it, stitch it. Guess what? They're not humans. Okay, so what other forms of discrimination do you engage in? Oh, well, they're not the same, color as I am. They're not the same religion as I am. They're not the same sexual orientation I am. So yeah, it's okay for me to do such heinous things that they would be crimes of rape if committed against myself, crimes of murder if committed against myself. How pathetic. How pathetic. Speciesism is the root of all forms of discrimination. Speciesism is the root of all forms of discrimination. And you're literally defending baby stealing and baby killing just because, this is not the same species as you. Oh, they're not humans, so fuck them. Steal their babies from them. Force them to live in minus 20-degree weather. Wow. 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 Making up words? What are you talking about? Yeah, you need to go vegan. You need to go vegan now. You need to go vegan. You need to go vegan now. You need to go vegan. You need to go vegan now. You need to go vegan. You need to go vegan now. You need to go vegan. You need to go vegan now. Because if you're not vegan, you're literally funding the worst atrocity in history. Literally supporting an industry that forcibly impregnates other species to steal their babies and force them to live in minus 20-degree weather. And then it's pathetic that these people are like, oh, but there aren't wild animals out there in that same weather condition. Okay, well, for one thing, this animal is not native. This is not a native species. This is not a native species. Hello? Hello? So you would never find this animal out there in the wild in these kind of weather conditions. Never, ever, because this is not a native animal. And if you watch the video that I just posted, you'll see that this little baby was just in a barn with his mother. And this thing took this little baby off of his mother and put him fucking outside in this little pen when out of his own mouth said that the wind chill was dropping to minus 20 degrees below zero. Anybody with a functioning brain cell can understand that's pretty abusive. And a pretty abusive, neglectful thing to do. And why? This is a bull. This is a bull calf. This is a male. This farmer don't give a fucking shit if this little baby dies. Doesn't give a shit. Whether he lives to the 10-day period where out of his own mouth he says in 10 days he's selling this little guy to the beef industry. So why can't, if he's just keeping him for 10 days, why the fuck can't he just keep him in the barn with his mother, huh? What about that? What about the fact that this little calf, he just videotaped in a barn with his mother? This little calf that was just born a few hours before this video was taken was in a barn with his mother. Now he's outside in the freezing cold when out of his own mouth he said the wind chill is going to be minus 20 degrees. And he, out of his own mouth, said in 10 days, he's selling this calf to the beef industry. 10 days. Why can't he just keep this baby in the barn with his mother for 10 days if the weather is this fucking cold outside? Because they don't want the baby and the mother to be bonded, to form a bond, to form a mother-baby bond. So this is standard practice in the dairy industry, that they take these little babies right off the mothers as soon as they're born, or within hours. They take the babies off the mothers, standard practice in the dairy industry, so that the baby and the mother do not form a bond. And so that they can hook that mother up to a milking machine and suck her baby's food out of her body while her baby's outside freezing to death. Or being hacked to pieces inside of a slaughterhouse. Because most little male calves born on those dairy farms are actually sent off to the veal industry to be slaughtered for their flesh. This is wrong. You don't have to consume cow's milk. There's a reason why most people are lactose intolerant. Well, I should say why most people cannot digest cow's milk without having digestive issues. And it's not because you're lactose intolerant. It's because you're not a baby cow. It's just so hard for me to just sit here and be calm because I'm just outraged. I'm just so outraged. I am just so outraged that I live in a world surrounded by people who not only partake in this atrocity, but literally fucking think it's a goddamn joke. Wow. 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 Yeah, evidence? Yeah. This is proof. Coming from a dairy farmer right from his own farm. Words from his own mouth. So yeah, check it out. Check it out. Look at that video that I just posted a few hours ago. Showing this whole 1-minute video. Coming from the dairy farmer himself. It's video from him. He goes into his barn where his pregnant dairy cows are. And the one dairy cow had just given birth to this little boy. And he says in the video that he made himself that, oh, it's a boy, and we sell them to the beef industry at 10 days old. And then he goes on to say that it's going to be minus 20 degrees. So he's going to put this little coat on this calf and put him outside in minus 20-degree weather when this little baby was just in the barn with his mother. But they take these babies off their mothers so the babies and the mothers do not bond. That's standard practice in the dairy industry. They take the babies off those mothers right after they're born. Newborn babies stolen from their mothers so you can have their stolen baby food in the form of artery-clogging, carcinogenic crap. And you're destroying this planet in the process, and all you're doing is just increasing your risk of cancer and heart disease. You know, you're hurting my head. You're hurting my head. Your cruelty towards animals is just hurting my head to the point where it's about to explode. You know, it's really hard for me to just sit here and like I'm like on the brink of just going off, blowing a gasket, because a woman, I hope you're not a mother, because that really just blows my mind. That really just blows my mind. Women with babies defending baby stealing and baby killing. Oh, because they're not humans. They're not humans, so perfectly fine to steal those little babies off their mothers and put them out in minus 20-degree weather. Yeah, you're hurting my head. You're hurting my head. And you're hurting the hearts of these animals. This is a newborn baby. He should be with his mother, but because of you, he's not. And I'm just stating facts. I'm just stating facts. I'm just stating facts. I'm just stating facts. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, I'd have to be crazy to know what I know and not be vegan. That would make me extremely crazy. So call me crazy all you want. Yeah, I mean, it's just hard for me to just sit here all calm, cool, and collect when, you know, there's just so many heartless people out there literally laughing at the fact that they pay people to torture animals and steal their babies off of them and throw them out in minus 20-degree weather. You know, I'm not religious, but yeah, good obviously exists and evil unfortunately exists. I am vegan because I am against evil. I am vegan because I am against evil. And it's really evil to sexually assault an animal, masturbate an animal, force them to ejaculate, then force their semen into an unconsenting female animal's vagina for the sick, evil purpose of getting them pregnant so that they will start to lactate, so that they can steal their baby, kill that baby if that baby's a boy, and then steal the food that belongs to this little baby. Yeah, pure evil. Yeah, satanic. It's satanic, definitely. I'm just stating facts. I'm just stating facts. Yeah, snowflake. Oh, that hurts coming from someone who's literally defending baby stealing and baby killing, calling me a snowflake. Oh, that hurts me so bad. Oh, that hurts so bad. Well, satanic as in evil. Evil. Like, I really don't believe in Satan or God or any of that stuff. But yeah, like I said, good does exist and evil does exist, unfortunately. And I am vegan because I am absolutely against evil. And I understand, you know, that's why I went vegan. That is why I went vegan, because I clearly see, once I learned the truth about this disgusting industry, that what they're doing to these animals to produce animal products is evil. It's pure evil. That is why I'm vegan. Plants are living too. Yeah, well, that's an argument for veganism, not against it. If you truly care about plants, you absolutely need to become vegan, because more plants are killed to fatten up the animals whose flesh and secretions you consume. And animal agriculture is the leading cause of deforestation. 1 acre of land is cleared every single second, and it's mainly to graze and grow food for all of these ceaseless tens of billions of animals that are needed to keep up the demand for animal flesh and animal secretions. And yeah, if you're truly concerned about plants, not only should you go vegan, you should become a fruitarian. You should become a fruitarian. because no plants are harmed for fruits, nuts, or seeds. So yeah, become a fruitarian if you truly care about plants. And yeah, let me just tell you, back, I think it was like in the year 2000 or like 1999, somewhere around that time frame, there was a vegan. It was an environmental activist who spent 2 years of her life in a tree, in a 600-year-old redwood tree, to keep that tree from being cut down. Yeah, she was a vegan, not a meat eater. So yeah, it was a vegan who literally took 2 years of her life and spent it in a tree. Yeah, I don't see any non-vegans doing such a thing to help save a tree's life. That was a vegan who did that, not a meat eater. Yeah, Julia Butterfly Hill. Look her up. Julia Butterfly Hill is a vegan, and she spent 2 years of her life to save a 600-year-old redwood tree from being chopped down. Yeah, well, like I said, you want to say, oh, vegans, you're plant killers. No, you meat eaters are literally causing the 6th mass extinction. Animal agriculture is causing the 6th mass extinction. No, it's concrete block. Concrete block. And again, I tore up my whole front yard, my whole backyard, and planted native plants, butterfly host plants, nectar plants for the butterflies and bees, edible plants. What are you doing? What are you doing to give back? What are you doing? Except harassing vegans. Wow. Wow. Does life matter when it comes to size? Guess what? Vegans are the ones that are doing our best to help save this planet, while non-vegans are literally destroying the planet and causing the 6th mass extinction. Non-vegans are causing the 6th mass extinction. You're killing off everything. Countless species of plants and animals you're killing by your food choices, because you refuse to stop paying people to sexually violate animals. You refuse to stop paying people to steal babies off of their mothers. You refuse to stop paying people to force animals into slaughterhouses and hack their heads off. And again, way more crops have to be produced to feed the animals whose flesh and secretions you consume. Way more crops. And guess what? There are non-lethal methods of pest control. But of course you're not vegan, so you wouldn't know or even care about non-lethal methods of pest control. You don't even care that this little baby's being stolen off of his mother and is going to be hacked to pieces in the coming months. You don't even give a shit about that. And you think like I'm supposed to believe you when like you're like, oh, but what about plants? They're alive too. Yeah, you don't give a fuck. All you give a fuck about is your taste buds. You don't give a fuck about any animals. You don't give a fuck about plants. You don't give a fuck about animals. And you really don't even give a fuck about people, because 1 billion people are starving right now because food they could eat is being used to fatten up your food. Oh, no, I must be hurting you, because you know I'm right and you're wrong for hurting animals. Yeah, you're hurting animals with your food choices. Yeah, just announce to the world that you're heartless. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Veal's so delicious. Yeah, what a way to announce to the world that you're heartless. I don't know who you're trying to attract with a comment like that, but no decent, respectable person would ever be attracted to somebody who's like proudly, bragging about the fact that they had babies stolen off their mothers and killed for their food preferences. Why are my eyes so red? Oh, yeah, because it's called sleep deprivation. Sleep deprivation. Yeah, I only get like 5 hours of sleep a night. And I'm always looking at my screen, trying to get more incriminating evidence against these flesh farmers. So yeah, I'm always staring either at my phone screen or the computer screen or the TV screen. And then I'm only getting 5 hours of sleep every night. So yeah, my eyes are like irritated and dried out. Yeah, I'm not on any medication. See, I don't have to take any medication. I'm sane. I'm sane. I'm not the one paying people to sexually violate animals and literally coming on social media in front of the world defending that type of behavior. I'm trying to get it to stop. Trying to get it to stop. Yeah, I don't consume anything that's sprayed with pesticides. I don't care. Call me Karen all you want. At least I'm not an animal abuser. At least I don't have little babies stolen from their mother and forced to live in -0 weather. I mean, that's pretty pathetic. I must be bothering all of you. Like, seriously. Like, if you don't have any interest in going vegan, you can very easily ignore me like you ignore the fact that little baby animals are freezing to death because of your food choices. You know, you can very easily ignore me. Like you ignore the fact that little baby animals are freezing over your food choices. But why can't you ignore me? Why can't you ignore me? Because deep down you know I am right and it makes you mad. No, I'm not religious. I'm not religious. But again, like I said, good does exist. Evil does unfortunately exist. And I am vegan because I'm against evil. This industry is pure evil. That's why I went vegan, because I could see clearly that what they're doing to these animals is pure evil. I didn't stop consuming cheese because I didn't like eating cheese. I stopped consuming cheese because I don't think a little baby should be stolen from their mother and killed. Stolen from their mother and kept out in -20-degree weather. And again, this little baby was just in a barn. This little baby was just in a barn with his mother. And then this thing literally puts him outside and out of his own mouth says, the wind chill is going to be -20 degrees. So yeah, watch my last video. This is my last video that I posted, right? The screenshot. So watch it, share it, duet it, stitch it, comment. This stuff needs to go viral. No, you get a clue. This is a baby, a newborn baby, just born a few hours before this video was taken by this dairy farmer. This is his own footage. This isn't footage I took. This isn't footage of an animal rights organization going undercover. This is literally from this dairy farmer himself, posted on his YouTube page, where he literally goes into his barn where his pregnant dairy cows are, and the one dairy cow just had given birth to this little baby boy, and out of his own mouth, he's saying that the temperature is going to drop to -20 degrees, the wind chill -20 degrees, and this baby is just in a barn with his mother, and he goes and puts this little baby outside when he just said out of his own mouth the wind chill was going to be -20 degrees. And out of his own mouth said that in 10 days, he's selling him off to the beef industry. So if he's only keeping this baby for 10 days, why can't he just keep him in the barn with his mother? Yeah, because in the dairy industry, they take the babies off the mothers right away so that they don't bond. So that they don't bond. So that when they take the little baby, so, you know, because they have no use for the male calf, and they want all that milk that comes from her to, you know, bottle it up to sell to you. So that doesn't eat into their profits by having him stay with her and continue to nurse. But yeah, so that when they separate this baby, that will be less stressful. But you're like, oh, but isn't that a good thing? Again, this is a newborn baby. He should be with his mother. But he's removed from his mother for the purpose of having his food stolen from his mother's body to be sold to you for profit. So they take these little babies right off their mothers soon after they're born so that they don't bond, so they can do all of this evil stuff, so that dairy cow doesn't, get attached to her baby. And then when they take the baby and the mother are both stressed, and the mother's, not able, that affects her immune system. That's going to affect her milk production if she's stressed out. So yeah, they take the babies right off those dairy cows. How do you not understand that it is wrong to take a newborn baby off of their mother? That's so sick that people are like, but they're doing it for their own good. They're literally doing this so that they can steal his baby food. And they're going to send him to a fucking slaughterhouse. How are they doing this for his own good? How are they doing this for the mother's own good? When they're literally sexually violating her like once every year, stealing her babies from her so that she can't get attached to them, sucking her baby's food out of her body, and then sending her to a fucking slaughterhouse when her body is so worn out that she can no longer produce enough milk to make those disgusting dairy farmers a profit. Your morals need work. Your moral compass needs worked on. Or do you not even maybe have a moral compass? It's either broken or, this person worried about my eyebrows. Oh my God. Oh, so shallow. Shallow people. Like, here I am telling you these little baby animals are being stolen off their mothers so you can have their baby food. And instead of being like, oh shit, I didn't know this is happening. Oh shit, now I know why I need to go vegan. Yeah, this is bullshit. No, you're like, oh lady, fix your eyebrows. It's like, what the fuck? You don't even know what you're talking about. Most farmers have a bull that they breed with. No, they literally masturbate the bulls. Yeah, I could show you footage. Like literally footage taken directly from dairy farmers. Of them masturbating bulls. Of them shoving electro-ejaculators in the anuses of those bulls to get them to ejaculate to collect their semen. Or even if they do, some of them might have a dairy cow and are literally getting the bull on top of her, but they're literally assisting, literally grabbing the penis of the bull and putting it into the female. Can you imagine like them being involved with like a young boy and a young girl having sex together, and they're like, hey, let me assist you here? That's fucking sick and perverted. Like, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out of here with this shit. It's bestiality. It's sexual abuse. They're forcing these animals to breed, but mostly what happens in most cases is they literally masturbate those animals with their hand, and they keep on doing it until that animal ejaculates. And yeah, I even came across a pig farmer a few weeks ago masturbating the sow before he shoves the semen into her. So yeah, they're masturbating the pig, getting the pig to ejaculate. Then they masturbate the female pig to sexually stimulate her. Because, according to this pig farmer, he's like, well, that helps get the semen to where it needs to go. So he's literally like with his fist rubbing her vagina, sexually stimulating her. Like, these people are sick beyond belief. And you are all here defending this shit. You're all here defending it. Like, right here on social media, where anybody can see your comments, like, thinking this is a joke when this is some sick shit that should definitely be a crime. Yeah, that's actually he said, this dairy farmer said that dairy cow was inseminated with bull semen from a beef from beef cattle. So yeah, he said it's a dairy cow. This baby was born to a dairy cow. But yeah, he said this is a beef calf. That's what he said from his own mouth. So yeah, I mean, you're saying it's not a dairy calf. He did say this out of his own mouth, that this was a beef calf. But the mother of this baby is a dairy cow. Because he even was showing his operation, like how he was going to hook her up to the milking machine to suck his food out of her body. So judgmental. You're the one judging that little babies should be stolen off their mothers so you can have their stolen baby food, and you're a grown man? You're a grown man literally supporting and funding the stealing of little babies from their mothers so you can have their baby food. Would you like a pacifier with that bottle? Would you like a pacifier with your baby cow growth fluid? It's not stealing. It's how they make their money. While these animals produce milk for their babies. The dairy cows are producing milk for their babies. That's the only reason why a dairy cow would ever produce milk. Because she's a mother, and that food is baby food for her baby. But their babies are literally stolen from them as soon as they give birth. So you, a grown-ass human, can have their stolen baby food. No, you're the one unhinged. You're the one literally here defending baby stealing and baby killing. How unhinged can you get? How unhinged can you get to literally come on social media in the comments section of someone's live stream and literally be like, oh, yeah, I see that this little baby is like out there without his mother. He's a newborn baby without his mother in sub-zero weather. But hey, I'm all for that. Well, I don't care about you. I don't give a fucking shit about you. Does that give me the right to victimize you? Huh? Does that give me the right to victimize you because I don't care about you? Go hug Satan. Go give Satan a hug. Anna. Yeah. Yeah, like, why would I not be serious? Are you serious? Are you serious that you're literally going to come onto my live stream in the comment section and defend this disgusting filth of sexually assaulting animals to impregnate them for the sinister purpose of stealing their babies off of them to steal their babies' baby food? Like, that's what cow's milk is. That's where cheese comes from. From baby food that was stolen from baby animals who were stolen from their mothers and sent to a slaughterhouse if they're boys. Yeah, vegan cheese. There is such a thing, vegan cheese. They are taking good care of them. He's literally putting this baby outside, took this little baby off of his mother, this newborn baby. I'm going to say this over and over again because, you know, I'm just hoping like this will start sinking in to some, I don't know, maybe you just are just a bunch of bots or something. So maybe I am just wasting my time because it seems like you might just be a bunch of bots because this isn't making sense to me. Like grown-ass men, women who probably are mothers, literally defending this disgusting filth. If you watch the video that I just posted a few hours ago, you'll see that this is a newborn baby and that this baby was just in a barn with his mother and that this thing literally said, this is a male, and he sends the males off to the beef industry. 10 days, at 10 days old. So if he's only keeping this little baby for 10 days, why can't he keep him in the barn with his mother? Why is he putting this baby outside when out of his own mouth he's saying the wind chill is going to drop to 20 below zero? Yeah, because they take these babies, standard practice, they take these babies off those dairy cows soon after they're born so that they don't bond. That's disgusting. To take a baby off of their mother so that they don't bond with one another, so that that dairy cow could be hooked up to a milking machine to suck as much milk out of her body as possible. And then her baby's sent to slaughter, and then she's sent to slaughter when she can no longer produce enough milk to be profitable. This is so filthy and evil and disgusting. And don't even tell me you're Christian. Don't even tell me you're Christian. Oh my God, is that, ugh. Ugh. Vegans kill wildlife every year. Well, guess what? I guess you've never heard of non-lethal methods of pest control. No, obviously you haven't heard of non-lethal methods of pest control because you're not vegan, so you don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck that this little baby was just stolen off of his mother and put outside in sub-zero weather, and he's going to be hacked to pieces inside of a slaughterhouse within the next year. You don't give a shit about that. Why would you give a shit about the wild animals? Why would you give a shit about the mice? Why would you give a shit about the slugs that eat the lettuce? When you don't even give a fuck about the fact that this little calf was just stolen from his mother and put out in minus 20 below weather. Get the fuck real. Yeah, I'm a vegan. I don't even kill cockroaches. Yeah, no, I don't. I bet you do, though. I bet you kill any bug and every bug. I don't kill any bugs. I don't even kill cockroaches. I wouldn't even fucking send a cockroach to a fucking slaughterhouse. When I have a spider in my house, and I'm living in Florida, mind you, and if the temperature is like going to drop to 50 degrees, because I'll typically take a spider, well, some of them I let live, but then, you know, I'll be like, no, this one's too big. I'm putting him out in the garage. But if it's like 50 degrees, if the temperature is going to go down to like 50 degrees, I'll be like, no, I'll just let him stay here until the weather warms up. A fucking spider. And I'm literally not going to put him outside because the temperature is going to drop to like 50 degrees outside. And I'm like, no, he could stay in here until the weather warms up. And I'm talking about a spider I even care about. And these bitches don't even care about a calf, a newborn calf that has emotions just like we do. And spiders probably do too. But, you know, these animals clearly, if you've ever been around them, you know that they have emotions just like we do. They have personalities similar to our own personalities. Some are shy, some are inquisitive, some are outgoing, some are, you know, mean and bitchy. You know, they all have personalities. They all experience all kinds of emotions, a full range of emotions. And you don't even give a fuck about these animals. Don't even give a fuck about these animals. Don't give a fuck that they're being forced screaming into a slaughterhouse. And then you're going to be like, oh, but you vegans kill mice and rabbits. Okay, you're just... You're just making excuses to justify the awful things you do. And there's no justification for what you're doing. You know, I'm a vegan. I'm literally trying to cause the minimum amount of harm possible. So yeah, that's why I, you know, buy products from One Degree, because One Degree is a brand that sources all of its ingredients from veganic farmers, okay? The local organic farm where I get a lot of my produce from, they use pepper spray as a non-lethal method of pest control. Yeah, see, I care. I'm concerned. So I'm trying to do what I can to minimize the amount of harm I cause. But you non-vegans, you literally cause the maximum harm, and you just fucking joke about it. You think this is a joke. To literally steal a newborn baby off of their mother and keep them in a tiny pen like this and force them screaming into a slaughterhouse. Sexually violate these animals. Literally, they masturbate male animals to collect their semen. And then they force that semen into the vaginas of unconsenting female animals. That's rape. And you're literally trying to defend that shit. And again, whatever animals are killed in crop production, a hell of a lot more crops are being produced to feed livestock. A hell of a lot more crops are being produced to feed livestock than are being produced to feed humans directly. Like most of the soybean crop grown is grown to feed livestock. Like over 80% of the soybean crop grown is grown to feed livestock. Only like 6% is used to make foods like tofu. Now, you're the one who's mad. You're the one on my live stream. You're the one on my live stream. You're the one who's mad. So again, I think I'm going to sign off now because I'm going to try to maybe get to bed before midnight, possibly. Is it possible I can maybe get to bed before midnight? So yeah, again, check out my last video. Straight from a dairy farmer. Straight from a dairy farmer. Proof that the dairy industry is vile. So vile. They literally steal those babies right off their mothers as soon as they're born. And then they put them in tiny little pens. When the freaking wind chill is going to be minus 20 degrees. That is life-threatening temperatures. That is life-threatening to those calves. Minus 20 degree wind chill, that's life-threatening right there. Yeah, for a newborn baby calf, yes, it absolutely is life-threatening. Anything below 0 degrees is life-threatening for a newborn baby calf. That is life-threatening. But see, this is a boy. And these dairy farmers don't give a shit about the boys. He's gonna sell this little calf off in 10 days anyway. Right from his own mouth. He says in 10 days, he's selling him off to the beef industry. He doesn't want this baby. He does not want this baby. And he doesn't want this baby to stay with his mother. None of these dairy farmers want those babies to stay with those dairy cows. Because if they stay with the mothers, they form a bond. So then when they try to remove the babies, then that creates a lot more stress for those mothers, which can affect their immune system, which could affect their milk production. So this is very sinister, very, very sinister, this whole disgusting industry. Yeah, I am trying to help them. I'm trying to tell you to stop funding this industry because you're the reason why this is happening. If you're not vegan, you're the reason why this is happening. If you're not vegan, you're the reason why this is happening. And don't give me that shit. Oh, if I went vegan, this would still be happening. This isn't going to stop if I go vegan. So if people are gang raping somebody, are you telling me it's okay to join in because, hey, they're being raped anyway? They're being raped anyway, so what does it matter? So you're going to participate in wrongdoing because other people are participating in wrongdoing. Wow. You either don't have a moral compass or your moral compass has been destroyed. I don't know how, but I mean, maybe you were abused. I don't know. I don't know why people are just being so thoughtless and so inconsiderate when vegans try to bring it to their attention that there's an atrocity going on and that all of you non-vegans are actually causing this atrocity to take place. And maybe you didn't know that. Maybe you didn't know all these things were taking place to produce those animal products. But that's why we're here trying to explain to you. And for some reason, you don't want to listen. For some reason, you want to just accuse vegans of lying and spreading misinformation when we're not. We're not. We're literally just stating facts. If you're not vegan, you literally are paying people to sexually violate animals. You're literally paying people to steal babies off of their mothers, mutilate them, force them to live in horrible conditions, and force them into a slaughterhouse to have their heads chopped off. So for every non-vegan meal you consume, you're literally paying someone to chop an animal's head off. For every single non-vegan product you consume, an animal is having their head chopped off, even for dairy products. All the male calves born to those dairy cows are sent to slaughter, either for veal or beef typically. Some dairy farms, they'll kill the male calves right away or put them out in sub-zero weather so they freeze to death. That's a good way of getting rid of them. Just put them outside in minus 20-degree weather. Most of the vegans are misinformed about nature. There's nothing natural about forcibly impregnating someone. Well, let's back up a little bit further than that. Nothing natural about masturbating a bull, forcing him to ejaculate, then forcing that semen into that dairy cow to get her pregnant. That's not fucking natural. That is not natural. It is not natural to steal a newborn baby off of their mother and put them in a tiny little pen out in some... This is not a native animal. For all of you people, like, oh, what about all the other animals that are outside in those weather conditions? This is not a native animal. And this little baby was just in a barn with his mother and is now outside in minus 20-degree weather because in the dairy industry, it's standard practice to take those little babies off of those mothers so that they do not bond with one another. So that they can easily take these little babies, send all the males off to be slaughtered so they can hook those mothers up to milking machines to suck their food out of their body so you can consume their stolen baby food. True story. I'm just stating facts. Just stating facts. Why should I talk to anybody when all you people want to do is clown around and think this is a fucking joke? This is an atrocity, and this is an atrocity that you, if you're not vegan, are directly participating in. So it's really pathetic. You know, it's one thing when there's an atrocity taking place and you don't have anything to do with it and there's nothing you can do to stop it. You know, it's out of your hands. Yeah, it's one thing for you to just turn a blind eye and ignore it, not talk about it, not, you know, be concerned with it. But this is an atrocity that you are literally funding. That atrocity is actually happening because of your food choices. And you could easily put an end to this, but you just turn a blind eye to it or, you know, make a mockery of it, act like vegans are assholes, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And especially if you're Christian, especially if you're a mother. And then you grown men literally defending the stealing of little baby animals so they can consume baby food. That's what cow's milk is. Cow's milk is baby food for baby cows. And grown men literally like, I need my milk. I need my cheese. And I'm like sitting there like, oh my God, grown ass man literally just had a baby stolen off of his mother. So this grown ass baby man can have the baby food that belongs to these little baby animals. Baby animals, cow's milk. Those dairy cows produce milk for their babies, these babies, not for you. I'm not actually making any sense. Well, look into it. Look at my last video. Just look at my last video. Let's see. Look up the artificial insemination of cows, pigs, chickens, fish. Look up undercover investigations of slaughterhouses, pig farms, poultry farms. Watch Dominion. You can see it free at dominionmovement.com. Dominion, not Dominion. Dominion. Well, I did not vote for the pussy grabber. But I guess, you know, you don't see any problem with sexually violating animals. So, yeah, I guess, yeah. Yeah, I think it's all making sense now. But, yeah, probably some of you are Democrats. So that, yeah. That kind of doesn't hold up. I'm against Planned Parenthood. Yeah, it's pathetic that you claim to be pro-life when you're not vegan. When you actually think it's okay to steal little babies off of their mothers so you can consume their stolen baby food. When you actually think it's okay to steal little babies off their mothers and force them screaming into a slaughterhouse. You're not fucking pro-life. You're not. You're literally destroying life all day, every day with every non-vegan product you consume. Oh no, I enjoy food so much more since going vegan. Yeah, I am listening to my stomach, and my stomach says more plant-based foods. No, the things that come out of a cow's infected udder, I don't understand why you see that like that as being food. I don't understand why you see something coming out of a bird shit encrusted ass vagina as food. I don't see how you can see a rotting carcass as food. I mean, do you see roadkill as food? Do you see roadkill as food? Oh, when you wonder why people hate vegans, but then act the way you do. Act the way I do? Like, I wish I could act like I really want to act. You know, like I'm really like so close to just flipping my freaking lid. Because this is just insane. This is just insane. Like, I'm supposed to be living in a modern civilized society. In a modern civilized society that is literally having animals sexually violated, having little babies stolen from their mothers and put out in all kinds of weather extremes so they can have their stolen baby food. And you're all destroying the planet in the process. Animal agriculture is literally causing the 6th mass extinction. Yeah, so there's a lot of reasons for me to be mad. There's a lot of reasons for me to be sitting here ready to just flip my lid. Yeah, it's like hard for me to just sit here all calm, cool, and collected when the planet's literally being destroyed. Animals are literally being tortured and killed by the billions, and you all think it's a fucking joke. And you think I'm the problem. And you don't like the way I advocate for animals. Well, how about this? If you don't like the way I advocate for animals, if you think my voice is annoying, if you think I'm not articulate enough or whatever, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I'm not here for me. I'm here for the animals, just trying to do what I can to get people to wake up. But yeah, why don't you become vegan and you become an activist and you do a better job at advocating for these victims than I could ever do? How about that? How about you go vegan and you show me how to be a better activist? If you think you can do a better job at convincing people to go vegan and make your own TikTok videos. Go live. Tag me. What are you talking about? I guess you just tuned in because I just said a little earlier, I do not consume GMOs. I do not, unless you're talking to somebody else. If you're talking to me, no, I literally get mad. Like if somebody tries to offer me food and it's like, hey, you know, if it's, I got to know for 100% certain that it is vegan and it is GMO free. Because I don't want it. I don't want your food. I don't want your food. Unless I know for certain it's vegan and not genetically modified. But yeah, most of the GMO crops being produced are actually fed to livestock. So yeah, you're definitely consuming GMOs if you're eating meat, dairy, and eggs, because those animals whose flesh and secretions you consume, they're eating genetically modified corn and or genetically modified soy. And that's killing off the bees and the butterflies. Because that shit's sprayed with Roundup. Roundup is toxic to insects, and it's an herbicide. So yeah, it's killing off all of everything. Every plant is being killed, except, the crop that it was designed to be sprayed on. The corn and the soy. So those crops will live, but everything else in between gets killed off. Those weeds actually produce flowers that are food for the bees and the butterflies. Milkweed is being killed off. And that's really devastating the monarch population. I don't consume GMOs. And I have a butterfly garden. So yeah, I have just about every butterfly host plant there is that is native to Florida. I even have a pawpaw plant, like a small fruited pawpaw. I don't think very many people can say they have a small fruited pawpaw. Maybe if you live up north, you might have a pawpaw tree, but I have passion vine. I have citrus trees for the butterflies. I have fennel. I have pipe vine for the pipe vine swallowtails and the gold rim swallowtails. I have cassias for the sulfur butterflies. I have a strangler fig for the ruddy daggerwing. I have pepper grass. I have bacopa. I have kunti. I even have Atala butterflies. Atala butterflies. Back in the 1940s, they thought they had gone extinct, but they discovered a colony on an island off of Miami in the 70s. Now they're all the way over here on the west coast of Florida. And I have them in my yard because I have their host plant, the kunti. What are you talking about? Invasive? Invasive. What are you talking about? No, there's nothing to debate. Just like I would not debate a child abuser, who wanted to try to convince me that it's okay to abuse a child. I'm not going to debate somebody who wants to try to convince me that it's okay to abuse an animal. Oh, it's okay to take this little baby off of his mother. No, it's not. No, it's not. This is not okay. But I guess I'm going to sign off because now it's oh my God, I'm not going to get to bed before 1. I know it. I know it. So just check out my last video, stitch it, duet it, comment on it, ask me a question there and I'll answer it. So yeah, if you go to my last video, this video here that I posted, if you have a question, ask me the question and I'll answer it tomorrow after I try to get some sleep. Yeah, and you're going to report me? Well, I'm going to block you. Report me for what? I'm just stating facts. Yeah, and this is coming from the dairy farmer himself. This is a video from the dairy farmer himself. So, Mummy needs milk. What do you mean, Mummy needs milk? Or you're saying that the dairy cow needs to be milked? I don't understand. Mummy needs milk. That's a weird comment. Unless you're trying to say that the dairy cow needs to be milked. No, that's what her baby is for. That is what her baby is for, but her baby is stolen and sent to a slaughterhouse. Like this little boy, he's going to be killed at 1 year old. Because this one is supposedly being sold to the beef industry. Beef cattle are slaughtered at 1 year old. They can actually live over 20 years.